Hi, I hope you had a great week. We're going to take a look at some charts. The S&P 500 is in an uptrend as shown by the 10-10 bands as a 10-day simple moving average of the highs and a 10-day simple moving average of the lows. And the stochastics is kind of coming down to oversold area a little bit, showing the correction. I think this is just a sideways consolidation before higher prices. So we're staying bullish. The S&P, and unless something would change there, the trend's up as shown by the bands. Of course, this can always change from day to day. You never know what's going to happen, but right now the S&P's bullish. Bonds, I think, are in a downtrend here. Bonds are a little tough to call right now because they're so choppy. It's pretty much just sideways. This bar, I don't know, bar chart must have put up a bad bar today, but I'd have to go look at the data. But anyway, bonds could head either way here. I think they're going to break lower. So right now bearish bonds, but if they were to trade up into this area and go back above the bands, then maybe they would head higher. So bonds are kind of an iffy one right now. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's just not clear. And that's the time to just say it's not clear. I mean, I'm giving the edge to the downside on bonds, but we'll see. Okay, the dollar, the 10-10 bands show the downtrend. This is probably a counter trend correction, sideways consolidation, and the dollar will probably break lower from here. And you can see the stochastics kind of came up and then is hooking over. Now the dollar could trade a little higher up here before it heads lower, but I think the top is probably in. But again, this area should be a top, and the dollar will probably head lower. Cocoa is extremely oversold, and I think I'm not excuse me. Okay, here we go. Cocoa is extremely oversold. This is a support area right here. That's previous support. It's coming into that. You can see it's making a little bullish divergence on the 14-day stochastics. This is making a lower price low, higher momentum reading. Basically, I think the low is in for cocoa. I think cocoa's going to head higher from here. Again, we'll have to wait and see if that plays out as expected, but right now, cocoa I'd be looking to buy it in my premium newsletter. What I do in the premium newsletter, though, is I wait for the market to turn and kind of confirm a lows in, so I don't buy into lows. But for an aggressive trader, that might be a good spot to buy cocoa there right now. Coffee, this could be making a higher test of the low, or it could come down here and make a double bottom or even a little lower low in this area. But either way, this whole area here, around 160 to 150, is probably going to be strong support for coffee. And it could be a higher low, and it could just head higher from here. It depends on how commodities, how they take off next week. If they just keep kind of in the correction that they've been kind of in this week, or if they take off to the upside. Basically, I think coffee is close to a major low, and we'll head higher eventually from here. Sugar, same picture as coffee. It's been making a base. It looked like it broke out to the upside, and now it's kind of come back down, which happens. Sometimes these breakouts, this looks like it was going to head higher, and this could be a higher test of the low. The markets like to make these higher tests of the low. Now, if sugar did trade higher from here, that would be one, two, three higher lows if you include this one, or two higher lows if you don't include that one, however you want to look at it. But then sugar is probably gaining strength on the upside and will probably head higher. Again, sugar could come down and break this low, but then I still think, generally speaking, that sugar is in the area of a low here, and will trade higher soon. So I'm bullish the markets, even though right now some of them are pulling back and correcting and making some pretty strong down days. But overall, I still think the general major trend is up for commodities, and I think there's going to be some big upside action coming up soon. These markets, they'll do that to you. They'll just consolidate and drive you crazy, but then all of a sudden they take off, and that's why you just got to stay patient and persistent. Crude oil, again, this is a support area over here, so it's come down, made a counter trend correction into support. It looks like this could be a head and shoulders bottom forming here. A breakout above here would be a neckline breakout and would probably mean higher prices ahead. Or crude could come down and test this low. As I keep saying, you know, you never know what they're going to do for sure. But I think basically we're in the general area for a low for crude, and crude overall is going to trade higher. We had some bullish action, and then now the commodities in general are just basically kind of making a counter trend correction, I think is what this mainly is. Even though this can really turn you bearish when it turns sideways like this, like gold. It'll make a up move, and it'll turn you so bullish, and then it'll just trade sideways, and just the sideways action alone will turn you bearish. But really, gold is probably just consolidating. Now again, it could trade lower here. This area around 1700 will probably be pretty strong support. You can see the stochastics is heading to oversold. um, Gold could just turn right up from here, and continue higher lows, or it could break down here, and the stochastics could go to oversold, and then it could take off. So either way, I think gold is going to head higher, and it's just making a kind of a counter trend sideways correction right now. Now in the premium newsletter, we got long gold clear over here, and then we got out right at the top here because of this bearish divergence here. I thought we might be getting a correction low, so I brought the stop right up below this bar, I think one of these bars, and we got stopped out of gold. And I will be looking to re-enter that as soon as we get another buy signal. And in gold now, we're trading the micro contract because gold has gotten to be such a high price, so expensive that I think even the mini contracts are a little bit too risky. So we'll be looking to go long micro gold on the next buy signal. Lean hogs have taken off to the upside, trading above the 10-10 bands. The trend is up, so I'm staying bullish, and I think higher prices are ahead. Today was another bullish day, so bars above the bands is a sign of strength, and this market just looks like it's going to continue higher from here. Live cattle is in a correction, and I think live cattle is going to continue lower and correct, but then it'll probably make a base here, it'll probably make a double bottom here, and it could even come down to this area here. So 122 to 124 will probably be support for live cattle, and then that market will probably move higher. I'll be taking a look, I'll be looking to take buy signals on that after I think the correction's over. Usually these markets come down and then they come back and test. Normally they don't always, but normally they come back and test, so that's why I'm expecting another low in live cattle. So this is another one we just got to stay patient and wait for the opportunity, and we'll be going long when we get a chance, if that all plays out as expected. Corn, I think a major low is in or close to being in. Again, it's some volatile action, but when these prices get so high like this, you know, you're going to have, I mean, it's a big down day, 22 cents in corn, but it just shows an inside bar. That's just, again, reflecting the higher prices in corn. I think this is basically a correction low right here, and corn is probably going to move up to $9 or $10 a bushel from here. It could come back down and test the low, but on this one, it's been such a strong move off the low. I'm thinking corn's going to just head higher from here. But, you know, these markets they'll do that. They'll surprise you. They'll look so bullish, and then they'll come back down and test the low. So a test back down to the 7 area would probably be a place I'd be looking to buy. Either we're going to buy on a breakout above this bar probably. I mean, I'm going to take a look at this again tonight and this weekend, and then or we're going to wait for a pullback to 7 to buy. But either way, this general area is probably a major support area for corn, and it should head up to $9 or $10 a bushel. Beans, same thing. I think beans are just in a counter trend correction, and a low is close. But again, sometimes these counter trend corrections, they can fool you. You think the low's in. Like, I think beans are probably making a double bottom right here, and the stochastic's making a bullish divergence, and I expect beans to head higher soon. But again, it could come back down here to it's at 1522 right now. It could trade down in this area here, 14.50 a bushel or something, and no, that's no problem. That's still just a counter trend correction. I mean, these grains made big up moves, and they're going to make counter trend corrections, but I think the grains are in major bull markets, and we're going to be looking to buy whenever we get a chance. Wheat has been making this sideways consolidation, and again, these sideways consolidations can turn you really bearish. Now, one thing about wheat, if any new low on wheat is probably going to come in on a bullish divergence. Wheat could just be making a higher low here off this bottom, or it could come back down here and make a little bit lower low, but I think a low is close in wheat. The stochastics is oversold. We're in a bull market. Um, let's zoom back out here a little bit and look at the bigger picture. Um, Again, these sideways markets will tend to turn people bearish, which it's just that's the way it works because you follow the market every day and it doesn't really do anything, and really it's just a sideways consolidation. Again, I could be wrong, but I think this is just a bull swing, sideways consolidation. I think there's another bull swing coming up. It'll probably head up to $10 or $11 a bushel. So I'm staying bullish wheat, and you can see the bull move played out on the stochastics, and then the sideways consolidation, and then the stochastics is kind of making a double bottom, and wheat's kind of making a double bottom. And again, there's nothing saying that wheat can't trade a little lower before the correction lows in, but I really think it's not going to break below these lows too much. But again, we'll have to see how that plays out. But higher prices ahead for wheat overall, and oats is pretty much the same situation as wheat. Oats has already kind of started to move higher a little bit this week, so oats may be leading the pack higher. Um, we had a bull swing and then sideways consolidation, and now oats is above the 10-10 bands here, moving above the 10-10 bands, and I think oats are going to head higher. So I hope you like the commentary. I hope you find something you can use and will be profitable for you. And I greatly appreciate you listening, and thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. Jim Robinson, ProfitTrading.com.